If you are in the creative industry, whether you're an animator, a graphic designer, an illustrator, a concept artist, whatever it is, you need a dope portfolio. So I'm going to show you how to build a really beautiful aesthetic portfolio on a site called Carbonmade. I'll also be giving you general tips like about SEO and user experience. So even if you're using a different site, that advice will still work for you. But for today's purposes, I'm using Carbonmade. Carbonmade is the sponsor for today's video, and it's super aesthetic. It's really easy to use. And I like the freedom that it gives me because I'm the kind of person that if you tell me I can't do something, I low-key really want to do it. So I really like the flexibility you get with Carbonmade. You can change the navigation, you get really cool block layouts that you can use, plus you can make your own. There's so much stuff you can do with Carbonmade, so that's what we're going to be using for today's video. If you want to try it out yourself, there is a link in the description where you can try it a month on the Pro plan, which has all the features. And if you want to do that, you can follow along with me while I build my portfolio and we can be portfolio buddies. Let's head on over to the site and start building our portfolios. Okay, so let's get started. Here we are on the site. This is where you'll find yourself landing if you clicked on the link that's in the description of this video. And as I said before, you can get 1 free month on the Pro plan, which is super dope. So do that, you know. Otherwise, if you just type into Google and type in Carbonmade, you won't land on this page, but it'll be the same process. All you need to do by starting is to put in your email address. Okay, and say create your portfolio. So then you just type in your name and your title. So obviously I'm an animator, I'm gonna say animator. And this is so that they give me visuals and layouts geared towards animators. So you'll see the templates and stuff that they give me will have motion and video in them because that's the kind of stuff that I'll be showcasing. So whatever you are, if you're a graphic designer, if you're an illustrator, whatever it is, this is going to personalize it for you and give you the layouts and stuff that will most suit you. So now all you need to do over here is, you know, pick a template that you like. What appeals to me here? So here you can check them out. This one's for the brave and the bold. Oh, I don't know if I'd say I'm brave and bold, but let's go with it because that's the kind of person I'd like to be. So it's block based. Obviously, you see you've got all these blocks on this side. You can see all the ones here that say that they are for the Pro plan. So luckily, if you use that link, then you can use those too. One of the most important things to think about when you're making a portfolio is your user experience. When people come to your site, what kind of experience are they going to have looking at your portfolio? Because you don't want someone coming on and they see the front page and you've got some stuff on it, but they don't know how to navigate to look at your projects in depth. You know, if you've got breakdowns and descriptions and stuff like that in your separate projects, you don't want them to be confused and not know where to go because they're just going to get irritated and click off. They're not going to waste the time to try and dig deeper to look at your stuff. So user experience is really important. And one of the cool things about Carbonmade is that you can actually change the navigation of your site. So if you don't like the way you navigate on your site, you can literally change that. So if you go over here to the side, this little paint palette that says design, you can change your site navigation over here, which is really cool. I like to keep it on sticky because that means that if you scroll down, you see the bar stays at the top, so that if people want to go back, you know, to the top again, then the sticky menu is there. The menu stays up there as they scroll down. So let's go back to work there. So you can click it on full width and then it goes to the sides like that. I quite like that. I think I'm going to leave it on full width like that. All right, so let's start by adding a project. I'm going to head over to this briefcase looking little icon over here. And then you've got your little place where you create your new project and it says upload thumbnail image. So I'm going to just drag from my desktop onto here. Okay, so now we've got our little thumbnail over here, project title. Type that in, save project. Okay, so this is our project. So here you see you can pick like how you want to design the page for your project. I think I quite like, hi, you want to come up? Okay, so you can pick one of these. I think I quite like the slideshow one for this, possibly. Clicking on that. I wonder if she's purring too loudly. And then it says drag and drop your image, video or audio from your computer. Hi. So I'm going to start bringing in my videos. Obviously it's video stuff because I'm an animator. I'm just gonna bring in the first one over here. And you see now, here is my video. So I've got a video here, nice and big, so people can really see the quality of it. And then you've got your description box over here where you give info about the video. So you can click on this clog over here to customize the block. You can change the background color, the background image, the alignment of the text. Let's just go with the standard left alignment though, and the background opacity, which I'm not going to adjust right now because I haven't, added anything to the background. So I could add a custom image, but I don't really want to at this stage. I'm not loving the black of the background. So this is actually the page background. You go over to page settings over here, and in background color, you can just adjust the background color, obviously, as it is called background color. What you can also do is just go over to design, and you see here under global styles, this little drop down. You can change the background color here, which is global. That means it's going to be changed over the entire site. Change the text color to the color you want the text to be across the entire site. Say done. You can also change the link color to whatever color you want to be, and that's going to do it across the entire site. Lily's Adventure. What should I say about this? A 3D adventure into VR. All right. Let's say animate, not in capitals, that's like I'm shouting it. A 3D animated adventure into VR. So this is where my advice on SEO and stuff comes in. Talking about descriptions and, adding in words like 3D animated and stuff, that's part of SEO. You need to make sure that you are using appropriate keywords for your profession and what you do, because that is what people are going to be searching for if they're looking on Google for somebody who does what you do. That's how Google knows what you do, because you're including these keywords in your descriptions and in your text. So it's really important to include long tail and short tail keywords. This 3D animated, that's a short tail keyword, it's just 2 words. A long tail keyword is a keyword that's longer than 3 words. In my site description, if I was to say 3D animator in South Africa, that's a long tail keyword. So the thing to remember here with search engine optimization, that's SEO, if I didn't mention that, is that you need to include keywords in your text. You shouldn't just have a site that is full of pictures. You do need some text in it so that Google knows what it is you do. So when you go here and you do this description as well, you need to be aware of, keeping keywords in your text. And it also needs to read naturally, because Google can tell if you're just keyword stuffing. That's when somebody just adds a bunch of keywords into their text to show up, high on Google, but it doesn't actually make any sense. It has no function or readability, and Google can tell when you do that. So don't do that. Just make it natural, and just make sure that while you are writing your copy, you're keeping in mind the fact that you do need to optimize your searchability on Google. So keeping that in mind over here, I'm going to write a little description, making sure that I'm including keywords, but in a natural way. So what I'm going to do now is just mouse over here, and I'm going to duplicate or clone the block. And this is so that I can include what I did on the project, because especially if you're an animator watching this, it is always very important on your show reel or on your portfolio to include what you did on the project. You don't want to come across as looking like you're trying to pass everything off as your own, because then you're just going to look dishonest. All right, so there we have it. There's the first part set up. Now I want to also just include some other blocks of, the other parts of the process. Again, with animation, it's good to include things like that, like process shot, works in progress, any other sort of stuff you have that can help people see what it is you did, what role you played. Let's put it here. So you just drag it from the left-hand side, drop it in here. And what I'm gonna do, wait, you know what? I actually want to bring this up. Bring that. That's super easy. I'm just going to drag this below that text over there. So let me change this. Upload image or video. So what I'm uploading over here is just a turntable of the character that I modeled and designed. And headline, I'm just gonna call that turntable. Let's change this up a little. I'm gonna make it the gray again. I'm going for a really uniform look, which is kind of out of character for me. You can have all the stages of your projects, all the works in progress, all the little steps, all the things to show what it is that you can do very nicely in a very nice sort of showcase way for potential employers to see what you can do. So I've got this one set up. I'm pretty happy with this one as it is right now. Okay, so here we are back on the main page. If you scroll down, you see it's showing off now that project that I made over here. If you click over here, you can change the cropping of the thumbnail to show whatever you want to show from that project. I like that. And we can always add another project that's going to be over here. So let's go do that. Projects. You say add a project, upload a thumbnail image. Let's do that again. The snail and hardy-dar. A hardy-dar, in case you don't know, if you don't live in South Africa, it's a kind of bird. It's an ibis. It has the most obnoxious sound that it makes, like all the time. Especially it loves to do it, you know, at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's like standing on your roof and it's like ah 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 ah. Those things are killer. Okay, let's crop it like that's fine. So I'm not going to go in and make another whole project. You guys saw how I made that other project. You can customize the layout. You can customize the gap between them, so you can have them flush against each other or with a little gap. I like the gap. You can increase the amount of columns. Let's add another project and you'll see then it'll just fill in that other column over there. Upload thumbnail image. Okay, I'll just call this breaking. Save project. And then you see it shows up there nicely. Let's go into the project. There's a cool feature I want to show you guys. Add that. VFX. Cool, so you can see there, I just turn off the subheading and then it blocks. I'm going to add this before and after block. So you can add your before, obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's very cool when you know you're an animator, a 3D artist, a VFX person, you know, that sort of thing, because you can add a slider that shows you the before and the after of the project. Isn't that so sick, guys? Come on, that's freaking dope. So that was just that thing that I wanted to show you there because I think that's really flipping cool. Let's go back to the home page. Just gonna put my name here and say animation and motion graphics. Oops, graphics. Animation and motion graphics. Robin O. Should I change that background thing? Yes. So let me just put an image here. I can adjust the background opacity, you know, either so it's like full opacity or only very slightly. I like it to be vibrant. So maybe I'll just change my text so that it's a little more apparent. Hold it. If you go over to the design part, you see you've got your logo and titles, so you can upload your logo. Okay, so I've got my logo there, looks nice and classy. Got my site title. I'm actually gonna call that Robin O Animation and Motion Graphics, because again, for SEO, site title's pretty important. It's another way to get your keyword in there. Your site title shows up when people are looking in Google and your site shows up, so it's really important to have a good website title and good website description. So this should include your name and keywords of what you do. Like for instance, if someone's searching for a designer and your site title is like his visual majesty or eyeball tasties. Nobody is searching for that shit, okay? People are looking for graphic designer or motion graphics artist or animator or illustrator. So you're not doing yourself any favors if you're trying to be creative with things where your keywords should come in, you know? So just keep that in mind. It's good to show your creativity, but do it in other ways. Keywords and website descriptions and titles and things like that are really important if you want to show up in search. So over here with Favicon, I'm going to include a favicon here as well. Your favicon is that little, your logo or whatever that shows up in the tab. So you see here for Carbonmade, their logo shows up there. That's the favicon. It's going to show up there when people go to your site. It'll be there in the tab. So this is the settings for your footer. You can change your footer text there. It's like copyright of you because you built your site. You can hide the Carbonmade branding over there in the bottom. If you don't want it to show up, you can hide it. And you can show your social links. So let's just pick some links to add here. Twitter. What's my Twitter username? I don't even know. Let me check. My username changes slightly over all the different social medias because like people had already picked them a lot of the time. So it's at Robin O Art. Robin O Art. Save. There we go. My little Twitter. My Facebook, I think it's Robin O, Art, Animation, Illustration. That's dumb. Why is it so long? Okay, so I've got all my social networks here. It'll link to them, so if people want to click on them, it'll take them to your social network. And then you just go to your About page, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, you just upload the image of yourself. It's good if you are a person to upload a picture of yourself just so that people feel like they can connect with you, you know, so they can see the person behind the name. So it's just good to upload your picture so that they can see that you are a person, you know, you're a real person and you can do the work for them. And then you just add your name and all that stuff here, work history, clients, awards, contacts, all that sort of stuff. You can also add your client logos, like of the clients you've worked with. You can include a lot of stuff here. So there you have it. That's how you basically build your portfolio website on Carbonmade. It's super easy. You know, you can get it done really quickly. There's not many places where you can go wrong or get confused. Just remember the SEO tips. Remember that the user experience is really important. People need to be able to navigate easily, and that is ultimately what is super important. Also, just keeping a common thread going throughout your website, so don't have different page backgrounds on each different page unless they're within a specific color palette, like complementary colors or something that fits within your brand. But otherwise, just try to keep things cohesive and professional as much as possible. So once you've got everything the way you want it to be, you just have to go live and make it, you know, out there and live. So you can choose your URL. So mine is just going to be robino. What? Oh my gosh. I'm just going to say Robin O Animation for now. Nobody could have taken that surely. Okay, go live. And I am now pro. My website is live. I'm ready to show it off. Look at that. It was seriously that easy, guys. Isn't that amazing? So there you have it. I've set up my portfolio site. I think it looks really sick, to be honest. I'm very happy with it. I hope that you guys got some value from this video, got some valuable tips and advice on how to set up your portfolio, best practices, how to display your work in a really nice and professional way so you can go and get that bread. If you did find the video useful, if you liked it, then don't forget to hit the like button. It's not that difficult, just to do a little tap. And subscribe if you want to. It's okay, I totally get it if you don't want that kind of commitment right now, but if you've watched a few of my videos, maybe you should just take the plunge, I'm just saying. Otherwise, I also have a Patreon set up if you want to support the channel that way. That would be super dope. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Love ya. Bye.